Hola y bienvenido a un nuevo video. Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be learning all about the letters and sounds in Spanish. Now, we're not going to be learning the full alphabet in this lesson, but we are going to be learning the most important sounds and letters in the language. Alright, so as long as you can get these down, your accent is going to sound much more native. Alright, so let's jump right into this lesson. So, first off, I just want to say that A, E, I, O, U, the vowels in Spanish are the most important letters or vowels to pronounce in the Spanish language. Now, I'm telling you, if you can get these sounds down, your accent is going to sound way better. The reason is because most times, the reason that a lot of people sound like a foreigner when speaking the Spanish language is because they'll say words weird using the vowels. They won't pronounce them properly and it just won't sound natural. Now, I'd like to also say that being able to pronounce these correctly is going to help you easier understand native Spanish speakers because you're going to know what sounds you need to be looking for. Okay, so let's go over these. We have A, okay, A, not A, right? A, okay? Okay, so the E makes that sound. So we have A, I. Okay, so the I makes this E sound, okay? I, okay? O, okay? Kind of opening up your mouth, making that a circle sound, just like the shape of an O, right? O, okay? Not O, right? O. U, okay? Not you, right? U, okay? So let's go through. A, I, O, U, okay? Really, really important, okay? Now, let's take a look at these list of words, okay? So what this is this is a list of words of what we call perfect cognates. Now, perfect cognates is just a fancy term to basically mean that these are the same in English and Spanish, these words, okay? The only difference is the pronunciation, okay? So in English, for example, we have actor, right? In Spanish, now that we've learned our new vowel sounds, actor. All right? Obviously, a very big difference. Actor versus actor. All because I know the different vowel pronunciations. Now I can say this perfect cognate like a native Spanish speaker. Actor. Animal. Okay? Mal. Animal. Okay? Now, before we continue, I just want to say, seriously, these guys are so important. The reason that a lot of the times nowadays people confuse me to be a Mexican, they don't think I'm American, they think I am Mexican, is because I have a good pronunciation. Why do I have a good pronunciation? Because of these guys right here. I spent the past 7 years mastering these, practicing them, using them every single day when I'm speaking Spanish, and now people think I'm a native Spanish speaker. I mean, that's pretty awesome, and it all comes down to these basic fundamentals, okay? Next, extra. Okay, not extra, extra. 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 Okay? Internet. Okay? Internet. Okay? Not internet, internet. All right? Chocolate. I like this one, right? It's fun. It's not chocolate, it's chocolate. Oh, right? You really hear that O sound in here. Chocolate. Okay? Popular. Okay, notice the U, right? U. Okay? So, one more time. A, I, O, U. Alrighty? I hope that's helping so far. Espero que entiendas. I hope you understand. All right, so let's check out these guys. Now, we've got these kind of little irregularities in the Spanish alphabet that we might not be used to. So actually, the Spanish and English alphabets are almost identical. Okay, we have a few exceptions, and here are 3 of them right here. Doble L, Ñ, and R, the doble R, okay? So this makes a Y sound, okay? So when we put 2 L's together, it's going to make a Y sound. We're going to take a look at some examples in a second. Ñ, okay? which makes this kind of NY sound put together. We'll take a look at an example. And R, which can be very difficult for us as foreigners when we're trying to learn Spanish. Sometimes we can't roll our R's, and we'll talk a little bit about how we can fix that. Okay, but let me come over to this side of the board just so you can see these. It's kind of scrunched up right here, so I might be kind of off the board a little bit. Okay, so here are double L's right here, okay? Pollo, right? You've heard of el pollo loco, right? Pollo, okay? This makes a Y sound. Pollo. Llamar, llamar, meaning to call, okay? Pollo, yo. Notice that yo, right? The Y. Pollo. Ya, llamar, okay? Pollo, llamar, okay? Now, in places like Argentina, they'll actually pronounce this kind of like a J. So they'll say pollo, or llamar. Now, I personally don't speak like this. I speak a more Mexican-style Spanish. However, if you're interested in learning a particular accent like that, you can absolutely say that, pollo or llamar. But as a general rule of thumb, I'd say you should just say it like a Y. Pollo, llamar. Okay? Next, the ñ, okay, which makes this kind of NY sound, okay? Español. So it's kind of like ni. Español. Tamaño. This means size. Tamaño. Okay? Now, an N, which is just ñ without this little accent mark over it, makes an N sound, okay? So, N, all right? Español, tamaño, all right? Next, el doble R, lo más difícil, the most difficult thing for most people learning Spanish, right? Okay, right? You really got to roll those R's. Now, I know a lot of people can't roll their R's. Nate, what do you do if you can't roll your R's? You just don't. Now, you're probably thinking, well, but I don't want to sound like I'm not a native speaker. Don't worry. In fact, a lot of native Spanish speakers can't roll their R's either, okay? You can just pronounce them like that R, the regular R, which we'll take a look at later in this lesson, okay? But try to practice, see if you can kind of train yourself, train your brain into doing that okay? And I might make a separate video just on this topic because it is something that a lot of people ask about, all right? So we have perro, right? Perro, all right? Perro. Next, torre. This means tower, right? Dog, tower. Perro. Torre. Alrighty? Cool. Alright, so now we're going to take a look at some more letters here. Like I said, in this lesson, we're not going over the entire alphabet, but we are going over the most important letters that I believe you need to be pronouncing properly if you want to have a more native accent when speaking the language. Alright? So here we have be, which is B. I'll explain later why I put this in here. Then we have se, okay? Se. He, kind of a throaty kind of sound to that one. He, okay? Ku. Now, this kind of makes a K sound, and we're going to take a look at that later with some examples. Then we have ere. Now, this one can be quite difficult for us as English speakers or just any foreigner, really. So we'll take a look at that. Uve. This is confusing. B and V in Spanish can be quite confusing for us when we're learning Spanish. So we'll take a look at those. We have Y, Y. And we have H. Okay? Now we'll see how that one behaves later as well. All right, so let's take a look. We have B and we have V. Now, B and V can be quite confusing. Why? Because they almost have the same exact sound. Now, I typically tell my students that the B has a stronger B sound, that B, okay? B. Now, V, which is the V, has a slightly less strong B sound. However, they're very, very similar, okay? So it's not ver, it's not v, it's b, okay? Not v, right? B, okay? So instead of saying ver, you're going to say ber, okay? Now, it pretty much makes that B sound. So if you're getting confused by these, you can just use this regular B sound. Think of them as the same exact pronunciation. So in the first example here, baloncesto, ver, meaning to see, okay? Ver, okay? Now, in my brain, I kind of see the V as a less stronger B sound. However, like I said, they're very, very, very similar. Okay, so try to just, if you're getting confused, use the B sound. Okay, so B, V, baloncesto, ver, ver. Okay? All right, moving on to the C sound, the se, se. Okay, now se has two sounds to it. Okay, first off, we have ceder, ceder, ceder. Okay, meaning to give up. Ceder, right? I hope you're not giving up on this lesson. Okay, next we have casa, casa, k, 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 right? It makes that K sound. Okay, so depending on where the C is placed and the word, it's either going to be ceder or casa. Okay, ceder or casa. All right, next one, he, he. Okay, first off, we have two sounds once again. Gato, g, 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 gato. Okay, then we have gesto, gesto, like a gesture. Gesto. Okay, notice it's kind of, like I said, that kind of weird throat sound going on. Gesto. So we have ga, ga, gato, gesto, gesto. All right? ¿Todo bien? Espero que todo esté bien. Espero que estés aprendiendo. I hope everything's good. I hope you're learning. All right, next one. This is not a Q. This is a 9 right here. Un, nueve, 9. This is our Q right here, okay? K, k, okay? Like we talked about, right? Q, Q, Q makes that K sound, right? K, quitar, quitar, okay? It's not quitar. Remember, the U is U, not U, right? So it wouldn't be quitar, it's qui, quitar, okay? Quitar, meaning to take off, quitar, okay? Next, we have ere. Now, ere can be a little bit tough for us when we're trying to speak the Spanish language. Why? Well, it's got kind of an awkward pronunciation, and it also has two different pronunciations to it. So first off, if in ere, a single R is placed at the beginning of a word, or in the direct middle of a word, or at the very end of the word, a lot of times we'll actually roll it. And you're like, oh, Nate, I have to roll my R's again. Once again, if you can't roll your R's, don't worry about it. Maybe you could watch some videos kind of learning how to train yourself to do it. But if not, don't worry too much. Just don't roll it, okay? So in this example, rincón, 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 okay? So when it starts the word, ere, just one ere, then it's going to roll. Rincón, okay? Rincón. All right. Now, sometimes if an R by itself is at the end of a letter, for example, tener, we'll roll it. Hear that? Tener, meaning to have. Tener. You could also say tener. That's fine. It's not rolled as strong. Or tener. Right? Either way. Okay? Next, this one. Playera. Playera, meaning t-shirt. In Mexico, when we talk about a t-shirt, we say playera, not camiseta. It's kind of weird, you know, the different Spanish in different countries. A camisa is a button shirt. Then a camiseta is almost like an undershirt. And then playera is like a shirt, which I'm wearing now. Just a regular t-shirt. Okay? So notice how it's just an ere. It's not r, right? It's not playera, right? It's playera, a, right? Playera, ra, ra. Okay? Not r, ra, playera. Okay? Next, y, y. Boy, boy. Okay, so it kind of has this E sound, right? E. Bo, E. Bo, E. Boy, boy. Okay? Then we have the strong Y, the y, y, y. Yo, yo. Okay, kind of hear the difference? So E versus Y, right? Boy, yo. All right? And finally, we have H, H, which is H. Now, the H in Spanish is silent. So right here, we have this word, historia, meaning story or history. Historia, okay? E. So notice how I'm not hearing this H. I don't hear it. H. I'm only hearing that little E, right? Historia, historia. So it's almost like the H isn't even there, okay? So just something to be aware of. Alrighty, how are you feeling? ¿Cómo te sientes? ¿Bien? Ojalá. I hope so. All right? Now, remember, before this lesson ends, I just want to say, these are the holy grail right here. Make sure you're pronouncing the vowels correctly. A, E, I, O, U. If you get these down, I promise you, your accent is going to start sounding much more native. Alrighty, I hope this lesson has helped you. If it did, please consider subscribing and also liking this video. It helps me out a lot. And you can also check out my website, SpanishWithNate.com, if you'd like to learn more free Spanish with me. Muchas gracias por ver esta lección y nos vemos en la siguiente. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Adios!